I've been meaning to make this video for the longest time, and the time has finally come. Bengals, please spare this man his career. Spare this man the misery of playing with this pathetic franchise because he doesn't deserve it. And that person is Joe Cool, Joe Burrow, the Heisman Trophy winner, the national champion. Spare him. He don't deserve this. Leave my boy alone. Go a different direction. Trade the pick. Take Chase Young. Do whatever you got to do to avoid ruining this man's life. I don't care if he's from Athens, Ohio. He does not deserve to be drafted by this pathetic team. Carson Palmer said it. He warned him. He warned him. You're going to be up for some hard times. It's going to be times where you're going to have to put the team on your back and try to carry this team to victories. And guess what? It's going to be hard to do. Because Mike Brown, the pathetic, cheap owner that he is, the cheapest owner in sports, I don't care if it's football, baseball, basketball, soccer, tennis, whatever. He is the cheapest owner of them all. He will not get you help. He will leave you high and dry. He will not make decisions in the free agency period to get better as a team. He will look the draft and build through the draft, and that does not work. It has not worked for the Bengals. It has not worked lately. You got some bust. You got some players that's hurt and injury prone already early in their careers. They can't even get on the field. It's to the point where you got to look yourself in the mirror and realize, I'm running an organization. I'm trying to become a Super Bowl caliber team, a playoff team. You can't even be that. Alright? It's to the point where you can't even win a playoff game. You haven't won a playoff game in almost 30 years. You never won a Super Bowl. You've been to multiple Super Bowls, and you lost them. You lost all of them. And Joe Burrow, if he is drafted by the Bengals, which most likely will probably happen, it's not going to be a good thing for him. It's going to be bad. Carson Palmer, when he was drafted, they had Chad Johnson, they had TJ Houshmandzadeh, and then later on they had RRP to my man Chris Henry. They had Rudy Johnson. They had some players, but they never had that team that can get over the hump. They can get to the championship. Now, that year that they lost to the Steelers, when Carson Palmer tore his ACL in 2005, that was their best shot. But even then, years later, they couldn't get over the hump. They could never get to that next level. They couldn't win a playoff game. And then you look at Andy Dalton. You draft him in 2011. You draft A.J. Green. You bring in guys like Dre Kirkpatrick. You bring in a lot of talent that's good, but not those guys. They're not ready for that next level. They're not ready to be those guys. I'm not talking about A.J. Green. A.J. Green, you got to stay on the field. That's what you got to do. You my boy, but you got to stay healthy. Over the years, the Bengals have not drafted well. And it's shown. They have had some of the worst defenses in the past few years. It's been atrocious to watch. The offensive line this past year was terrible. I live in Cincinnati. It's cold as hell, alright? It's been snowing. I'm sitting outside doing this video for y'all. Y'all see this. Y'all see the snow. It was a lot of snow, but I guess the rain washed it away. Look, the point is, when you drafted Carson Palmer, he didn't have enough help. And then later on in his career, you didn't want to get him help. So he left. He went to Arizona and got to an NFC Championship game. Something the Bengals can't do in the AFC. They can't even win a playoff game, let alone get to the AFC title game. You draft Andy Dalton. You don't give him enough help. And now Andy Dalton looks like he's going to be out. Look like his time is over. I don't know if you're going to trade him. I don't know if he's going to be the backup. I don't know what you're going to do with him. You didn't give him enough help. 8-9 years down the drain, not a playoff win. Playoff appearances, but not a playoff win. Can't get to that next level. And now you're thinking about drafting Joe Cool, Joe Burrow, one of the most talented players in college football coming into the league? Nah, bruh. Don't ruin this man's career. You don't pick him. You let him go elsewhere. You pick Chase Young. You pick somebody else. Do not ruin this man's career. I'm a big Joe Cool fan. I will be disappointed if he has to suffer in Cincinnati and take on a lot of losing seasons because I don't see no future for this team. Just that simple. So with that being said, do not pick this man at all. You don't pick him, all right? Mike Brown is cheap. Do not pick him whatsoever. Look at these kids. These my nieces. But look, with that being said, do not pick Joe Cool. All right?
Do not
Mike
pick
Brown
him.
is pathetic. You heard it. You heard what she said. Don't pick him. All right? Let him go somewhere else and be a champion. The Bengals have no chance of being champions. They have no Super Bowl aspirations. I'm out.